Hello, my babies. Welcome back to another episode. It's your girl, MamMaJ, aka MamMaJ, and you are listening to MamMaJism. Thank you so much for deciding to listen in on this talk of love and honest conversation. So let's get into it. We are going to go ahead and get started. Sorry if I keep looking down. I'm looking at my notes, okay? But we're going to get started with a little recap of last week. So last week, I talked about how I made the switch from the Anchor app to Libsyn, some pros and cons about Anchor and why I decided to choose Libsyn. Well, this week, I am going to be talking about why I decided to leave Libsyn, and now I'm with Buzzsprouts officially. No more moving around. This is the last time, okay? A lot has happened in the week that I actually posted that podcast. I just put so much work into the episode that I didn't have time to go back and re-record and let you know. Actually, I'm not at Libsyn, but I knew it didn't really matter in the long run if I waited a week to talk about it. So that is what this week is about. So we're just going to go ahead and hop right into it. So why did I decide to leave Libsyn? Well, they have a very confusing interface for me personally. It was overwhelming, like the wording that they use, the way that everything's set up. It wasn't it just didn't sit right with my spirit, right? So I just I don't know what I'm doing, but this is very confusing for me. So I was doing a whole lot of back and forth talk with the people who work at Libsyn, just to kind of get a better understanding of how everything works, and the whole media file thing, not being able to upload 2 of my files for one episode was really throwing me off, and I wasn't sure what was going on there. Last week when I was talking about how I really liked the people that I talked to, they were friendly, the support people. The first guy that I talked to, very, very dope, very helpful, really enjoyed him. But the second person that I talked to when I was trying to figure out ways where I could make uploading on the platform work for me, he just was not very helpful. And my original problem was the fact that I couldn't upload 2 files for one. So we kept having this back and forth where he was saying, yes, you can upload 1 media file. And I'm like, okay, cool, but I'm asking about 2. Is that possible? And he just kept rewrapping the conversation until finally I was like, so to make sure we're on the same page, you are saying this. I'm saying I need this. Can you do this? Yes or no? Oh, you want to know if you can do this? Yeah, no, we don't do that. We've been emailing back and forth for a whole day, dude. I could have already gotten my answer earlier this morning, but you weren't listening. You weren't paying attention to what I was asking you. So that really, it left a bad taste in my mouth, and I didn't like that. And I don't like how with Libsyn you have to, they go by storage. They tell you how much storage you have left. So they have, like I had mentioned, they have different plans for you depending on how much you want to pay, and depending on how much storage you would actually need to upload your content. So it goes monthly. So if you are like me and you kind of have a podcast episodes that range between the 20 and 30 minute mark, that's somewhere around 30 megabytes or something like that. And so their cheapest plan, which was $5 plus 2 for limited stats, so 7, it's $7. That really only allowed me to upload 1.5 full episodes, and so that didn't really work for me. But I wasn't able to convert it in my mind because I don't work off of megabytes and gigabytes. I had to Google how to convert it, when you're cooking with the measurements. I just didn't know what the hell they were talking about. So I was like, okay, well, this was a little weird. I do like the fact that I did use that code from Carla in order to make the switch. So I have this month and then the next month free, which is stress-free for me because it allows me to kind of be sure if this is something that I want to actually pay for. And because of that, I was able to safely move over to Buzzsprouts without feeling like, damn, I just wasted $7 because I did not like what was going down. So, that was pretty much why I left Libsyn. And I will say the reason why I made the switch to Buzzsprouts, because as I mentioned, there are other publishing podcast publishing platforms for you to use, right? And I think I'm going to do a separate episode on that. I'm going to do a whole little like series for people who decided that they want to get started with the podcast, kind of just to help you out. So I'll talk more about all the different kinds and what they offer. It truly is whatever it is that you're into, right? It really depends on your preferences and things like that. Libsyn just wasn't for me, and that's okay. I had to, go on it and figure it out and see what it's like in order to make that decision for myself. At the end of the day, nobody can tell you what you're going to like. You have to figure it out. So I realized Libsyn's not for me, and I did some research, looked at the Buzzsprouts website and saw that they were very user friendly. And honestly, I feel like Buzzsprouts is a really good step up from Anchor. And so I'll kind of get into a little bit about that. So my experience with Buzzsprouts so far. So it all started with an email I sent them asking them if they are able to have me upload multiple files like how Anchor was, so that I can, have my episodes on without having to worry about making a part 2 or whatever. They said, unfortunately, they don't. But the difference between what Buzzsprouts did and what Libsyn did for me is that they actually sent me links to different places where I can edit my files to put them together, merge them together, basically. And this was all before I had even said, okay, I'm going to, work with y'all now. Like, they offered the information for free without me having to do anything. They just wanted to help. And I was like, wow, y'all real ones. I like that. I respect that, because that shows me that you actually care about the podcaster and not just trying to get their money. So I was like, okay, because of that, I'm definitely going to sign up with you now, because I really like how you are helpful and not only provide me suggestions and you also give me links to different places that I can go to. People at Libsyn were like, yeah, I don't know, people usually just Google it. And I'm like, oh, rude. I spent 2 hours trying to figure out the best way to try and merge my 2 files together, and I was coming up with nothing. And here you are not being helpful, whatever. So I really loved how Buzzsprouts handled that situation and helped me out. So when I actually went on their website, signed in, created an account, and everything, I really, really, really love their interface. And they do it by minutes, right? So depending on whatever plan that you pick, it tells you how many hours you have left of that storage space for the month, which is perfect. I don't have to try and convert shit. I don't have to look into how much is so-and-so megabytes, So first of all, won me over already. They allowed me to add transcriptions to every episode. And if y'all know me, y'all know I'm all about my captions. I'm really trying to be inclusive for everything and for all people. So I love that it allows you to put transcriptions directly onto the episode for you. And then you can also do chapter markers, which is cool. So a lot of times I know people kind of like to skip through, or they don't have time to listen to the full episodes. They kind of want to get to the meat and potatoes. I understand that. So now I'm going to start putting chapter markers in, and it's only available for platforms that allow that. So Buzzsprouts obviously would be one. I don't know of any others, but I guess you'll find out depending on what source you listen to it with. And as I mentioned, their staff, super friendly. I asked questions and they gave me solutions without me being a part of their platform. And they're easy to work with and just super friendly. Really love it. So now I'm officially with Buzzsprouts. The thing that sucks though about moving around so much is that my staffs are completely fucked up. I have no idea how many people are listening, what website they're using or anything like that, just because I've moved around so much, jumping from Anchor to Libsyn to now Buzzsprouts. Everything's all over the place and it's not showing my true stats, but it's fine because I think it kind of is now allowing me a fresh start. Can't be mad at that. So it's going to take me some time to kind of get used to everything and refigure things out and wait for my true analysis to hop in or to kick in so that I can know what the heck is going on. But I am truly, truly satisfied with my choice of making the switch yet again. The challenge for today is, and not even for today, just in general, that I challenge you to allow yourself to fail forward. I made a whole episode about making the switch to Libsyn, and it ended up not being the right fit for me, and that's okay. I was able to see that it wasn't working out, and I was proactive about it. I didn't sit there and be like, I made a whole episode, now people are going to judge me or people are going to laugh at me because I was going hard for this and now I'm wrong. Like, no, I learned that, Libsyn is a great app for people who enjoy the things that they offer. It's just not for me, and Buzzsprouts is something that I really enjoy. It's just user friendly for me. It just works for me. So allow yourself to fail forward and, take accountability for your actions and don't be afraid to, I wouldn't even say accept defeat, but don't be afraid to know that even if you got it wrong the first time, don't count yourself out. Just allow yourself that time and that space to regroup and, move forward when you have another plan or, something that's going to help propel you in the long run. So that's what I have for you today. Thank you so much for tuning in. Until next time. Bye-bye now. Thank you for listening. Please make sure to subscribe if you haven't already and follow all the socials at MamMaJism. That's MamMaJism. If you decide you want to financially support me, on my accounts you'll be able to find out how. Thanks in advance. Until we meet again, please be kind to one another. And from the bottom of my heart, I love you.